time for the final of Players' Championship 11 here in Milton Keynes, and Peter Wright, well, there was a word a few years ago invented, I think it was by the crew at Soccer AM, bounce back ability, and Peter Wright has demonstrated that in bucket loads today. Missed 6 starts to clinch the Premier League crown on Thursday night and has hit back with some quite breathtaking displays to book his place in the final against Daryl Gurney, a man who is already a new winner on the Pro Tour this year and hunting down his 2nd title. I'm Chris Murphy, and joining me to talk you through it, having just witnessed an incredible display from Wright, is Dan Dawson.
Yeah, well, look, just to put this in context about how well Peter Wright has just played in the semi-finals. Rob Cross, his opponent, averaged 109. Rob Cross was beaten 6-3. Now, the numbers that I've seen, and I trust, say that Peter Wright has averaged 120.7. He had a 10-darter, 4 12-darters, and a 14-darter. It was spellbinding. And if he plays like that in this final, I don't care how Daryl Gurney plays. I'm afraid Super Chin is not going to win it.
Well, Daryl Gurney has won 1 title this year. He's actually playing in his 4th PDC final. 3 of them have come in the space of a month. Gurney could have doubled his tally against Joe Cullen, missed a dart to beat Cullen.
25.
The day after, he'd won his 1st title, had been in the final before. That was on the Euro Tour. Had to wait a year to get there again. Certainly becoming one of the biggest threats on the tour. But Peter Wright, well, he's the one that's there to be threatened.
Yeah, and I think just watching Daryl Gurney over the last few months, he now looks comfortable mixing it with the best. He looks like an elite player in waiting. He has the scoring power. Occasionally, the doubles let him down. He says that himself. But if he can build upon his scoring power, make it even better, if he can improve his doubling, then I think we've got a Premier League player and a real threat at major tournaments from now on.
Yeah, well, mentioned in his semi-final win against Andy Bolton, which he completed with a 1-1-7 finish, that Barry Hearn actually mentioned that he was in the reckoning last year for the Premier League. He hadn't won a title then. He's kicked on this year. He's been handed a wild card for a World Series event. Certainly he's going to be in the reckoning next time around.
You do wonder when
125.
we hear so often from experts, commentators, and the players themselves that this is about confidence. It's a mental game.
100.
You wonder how much Barry Hearn, standing up in front of millions of people watching at home and thousands of people in the arena, saying Daryl Gurney is in our thoughts and could be in the Premier League, whether that has been a factor in spurring him on, whether Gurney is now... Well, the people that matter are rating me. And he's living up to that billing now.
180.
Well, there's a maximum for Daryl Gurney. First of many, we assume, in today's decider. But Peter Wright, now he's considering whether to go double-double or to stay at the treble with Gurney on a big outshot. He's found the treble.
80.
But he's missed the double, and it's that double.
Yeah, that one. Well, he wasn't missing it in the semi-finals, I can assure you. But Gurney, the 180 is left 141, and it is on treble 19, just below where it needs to be. So Wright will come
85.
back for that double, the one he missed 5 at, to win the Premier League title. The demons are being exercised today in Milton Keynes.
They certainly are. We know that that scar will remain on Peter Wright for a long, long time. Winning a Pro Tour event will not banish that, perhaps until he gets back on stage in a big major final and completes the job. Will he really get rid of the darting demons left from that Premier League final defeat? But
180.
to turn up here, throw darts like this, when he could just have wanted to crawl under a rock, it is, well, you've got to give him a hell of a lot of credit.
Look, later that evening, I said this in the semi-finals. Later that evening on Thursday, I saw Peter. The last words he said to me were, "I'll get him. I will get him." And look what he is getting here. Oh, he did that in the semi-final. 180, 2 treble 20s, and then went treble 17.
Yeah, the lie looked pretty good to stay there, to be honest. But Peter Wright opted for an alternative route. In the grand scheme, though, he's perfectly poised for an immediate breaker throw.
He certainly is, and there's just been no let-up from Peter Wright right the way through this. Rob Cross, as I say, in the semi-final, averaged 109. He did nothing wrong, played some excellent darts himself. But Peter Wright just did not give him a sniff. And if he takes out the 44 here, well, Daryl Gurney may be a little concerned.
Well, that could not be much closer. But Gurney left on a 3-figure finish. Only needs 1 treble. And he's found one. But 76. Can't find the double. Reprieve for Wright and a chance to double his lead.
Well, we saw Daryl Gurney have a run to the semi-finals in Gibraltar at the weekend. He took out a number of big finishes. He may have to take out a number of them today against Peter Wright to claim a second title, because Wright does double his lead, does get the break of throw he was after, and does pin that troublesome double 8s.
Yeah, he's been pretty good on that so far in this match. Peter Wright, who, by the way, is hunting down his 8th PDC title of 2017. 100. Now, his career haul is 15. So if he does go on to win today, he will have won more than half of his titles in a 5-month window.
80.
I mean, he wishes it was his 9th he was hunting down, but let's not labour the point too much.
Well, no, the weird anomaly is as well that Peter Wright, as he looks to fill this up again, and he does do exactly that, Peter Wright. Well, look, he dominated the UK Open qualifiers. He won half of the 6. He won the UK Open itself. He is dominating the European circuit. He's won 3 of the first 5. So they're the 7 titles he's got already this year. And yet, the Players' Championship Series, of which we had more than any, this is number 11, obviously. He's made 3 finals, but he's lost all of them. Now, admittedly,
100.
He's lost to the world number 1 and the world number 2, the only 2 people ranked higher than him. But he's not stood on ceremony in the European Tour for people ranked higher than him, as Gurney fires in his second maximum.
Yeah, it's been a solid start from Daryl Gurney, but has always found himself a visit behind Snakebite Wright, who finds the bullseye. Can't find the treble 13. But yeah, great point, Dan. He hasn't got one of these yet, losing out in finals. So that will be something that's bugging him. He's kind of got that Michael Van Gogh mentality now, hasn't he? He will feel that he needs to put that right, if you pardon the pun.
22.
18 for double 16, 10 for tops. Yeah, thought it'd be the former, so double 16 for Peter Wright. When he's missing, he's not missing by much.
Shot.
And he follows it up. It's a 15-darter. It is 3-0. Now, we have seen Daryl Gurney go on these bursts. He did it against Joe Cullen the day after he won his first title, coming from behind and giving himself a dart for the title. But can he do it against Peter Wright?
Well, Peter Wright is hard to beat. Make no mistake about that. Michael Van Gerwen found out how hard on Thursday night. In his last 25 games of darts, he's only tasted defeat 3 times. 2 of those were in deciding legs. One on Thursday that we've talked about.
81.
One in Gibraltar against Michael Smith, who went on to win the tournament. And the other one, a Players' Championship final against Gary Anderson. So it just goes to show who it takes and what it takes to beat Peter Snakebite Wright.
100.
Well, to be honest, in the semi-final, it would have taken a physical assault or being hit by some sort of a large vehicle. Nothing was going to stop Peter Wright winning that match.
To any darts players watching, that's not advice from Dan Dawson. This is advice from Peter Wright. That's how you do it, guys.
Well, it might not be advice, but it might be running through Daryl Gurney's mind at the minute, because it is just
60.
relentless from Snakebite. Once again, he's left himself a chance of a 12-darter. It could be a double break. It could be 4-0. Oh, it really could. Bullseye for Snakebite.
25 left,
Not
96.
to be, but 25 left, and Gurney looking at a massive one. And a massive one he is not going to take out. Peter Wright to get
92.
a stranglehold on this final. His 8th title is so close he could just reach out and grab it.
Game shot.
Well, he's doing exactly what he needs to do to win that title. He keeps hitting double 8 as well, certainly exercising darting demons here in Milton Keynes today. I've heard it said, Dan, that one of the strange things about darts is that the skill is remaining totally concentrated and focused
140.
and totally relaxed at the same time. And just watch Peter Wright in his performances today. That is exactly what he has exhibited.
Yeah, and I believe that's when he's
60.
playing his best stuff. You can see he is focused, he is concentrating, but he is completely at home in that environment. And he's exactly the same on stage, you know, in front of 10,000 people at the O2.
95.
He's created this persona, this snakebite character, which allows him to come out of his shell and feel at home,
140.
whether it's playing here in a leisure centre, or whether it's in front of 10,000 people at the O2 or the Hydro in Glasgow, where it's just as if he's back in his man cave in East Anglia,
96.
playing in front of the scary masks that he's got around the place, or even back when he started, practicing on trees because he didn't have a dartboard at home.
180.
That is another maximum for Daryl Gurney, but so far it hasn't been enough to help him win a leg.
Well, he's heading for the top of the tree, isn't he, Peter Wright? In the world of darts, Gurney needing a big 3-figure combo
85.
just to get a leg on the board. It's one where he could get a shot at the ball, and he's not even going to get that. And that's the first time I've seen him throw his first start badly. Is he feeling the pressure of a potential whitewash? A potential
78.
right wash?
Well, he could be. It may just be he's seeing what Peter Wright is throwing at him. Leg after leg. This for a 5-0 lead. 20 for Bull. Bull.
41.
Not to be.
44.
Now, Gurney, this has to go, and it's for a break of throw as well.
Double 16. Could be tricky. Eyes remain fixed on the prize, but he's found the wrong
27
bed.
scored.
Double 8 comes to Peter Wright's rescue. What a turn up for the books. Double 16.
Game shot.
And there it is, Peter Wright, one leg away from his first Players' Championship title of 2017.
And he walked to the board Thursday night, needing 32.
83.
Every single one of these legs have been in that section of the board.
Well, foolishly, earlier on in that match, I put on social media that I believe Peter Wright was the greatest double 8 hitter in the world. And that is built on seeing him so far this year, the number of times he takes out 76, 96,
55.
32, 16, 25 he takes out flawlessly. 9 double 8 over and over and over again if he's just missed the bullseye. And then, of course, what happens? It's that double that comes to haunt him in the closing stages of the final.
60.
But it does not take away from the fact that the darts he has played over the course of the last few months are not only the best darts of his life, but some of the best darts we have ever seen played. Even Phil Taylor in his great career hasn't matched the 119.5 average on a TV stage that Snakebite gave us in the Premier League.
And we've sat here
60.
for 5.5 legs now just talking about Peter Wright as if Daryl Gurney's not even there, but he hasn't been in this match. We're only reflecting what's going on.
140.
Hey, look, Daryl Gurney is going to be in more of these finals. You only have to look at the names he's beaten. Chisnell, Whitlock, on the way here. You look at the quality of the darts he has thrown, the fact he has won his first title.
100.
He was excellent in spells in Gibraltar. He's looking at treble 18 here. Bullseye for a leg. Not to be, and what a way to win it this would be for Peter Wright.
Well, it certainly would. Peter Wright steps forward for a big finish. A fanfare finish. It's not going to happen, but I think that's because he's going to try his best to leave himself down at double 16 and
100.
double 8.
There's an anxious look from Daryl Gurney there, just craning his head over Peter Wright's shoulder. He does get his chance, and he does take his chance. There will be no right wash. Gurney gets a leg.
Yeah, Dave Chisnall, the only man today to get this many legs from Daryl Gurney. Aside from that, it was 6-1, 6-2s and 1-6-3. That 6-3 against Dennis Smith
95.
right at the start of the day. Beat Superman, did Super Chin, 6-2 in Matt Clark. 6-1 win against Josh Payne. Chisnall went all 11 legs in that one. Then Simon Whitlock, a 6-1 win. And Daryl Gurney is becoming
100.
something of a bogeyman for the Wizard.
Well, he is for Josh Payne as well. We had that game on my streaming board. Josh Payne has lost all 6 meetings with Daryl Gurney. But these
90.
kind of head-to-head stats, they're becoming apparent because their guys have only met Daryl Gurney quite recently. And that's during his ascent up the rankings and becoming this player who is now a genuine threat at tournaments.
100.
He has some way to go. He is learning that in this game against Peter Wright.
Well, speaking of head-to-head stats, this pair have met 10 times before today, and Peter
140.
Wright has won 8 of those, all of them since 2013. Bear in mind, Peter Wright won his first title in 2012. Could be about to win his 16th here today.
105.
Well, of course, the biggest of them was the semi-final at the UK Open, wasn't it? A huge game for Daryl Gurney. His second major
96.
semi-final. But Peter Wright beat him 11-5, then went on to claim the title. It may be a similar margin of victory here, because tops will seal the deal.
16.
Well, the deal has not quite been sealed from Snakebite, and Daryl Gurney gets one last chance to stay alive, to just frustrate Peter Wright a little bit longer. Double 10 to do just that.
Game shot.
And double 10 is there. Daryl Gurney breaks the throw and maybe just resigned himself to defeat in this one, chalk it up to experience. Maybe Peter Wright thought the job was done. Maybe he should have left double 8. But maybe Gurney can come back.
180.
Well, we know that Peter Wright can't finish games out, Dan. Can't close them out. Finish line-itis.
60.
We shall see. 7 180s in this game. 4 of them to Super Chin. We said that he could live with the best in the world in the
37.
scoring stakes. He's followed it up with a 37. But every time you kick this man, he gets back up.
139.
It's just what he does. He's done it his whole career.
Well, it's a man that was on the
100.
verge of completely throwing in the towel before he reached that World Championship final against Michael van Gerwen back in 2014. It was going back to the day job. What a shame that would have been. Because what
138.
a player, what a sportsman, and what a man Peter Wright is.
I have immense respect for Peter Wright. He even said that
140.
had he not had that time away from the game, had he been playing for all that time where he was off fitting tyres and doing various jobs, who knows, he could have been Phil Taylor-esque. And maybe he could have been. We don't know. But the performances that he's putting in over the last few months suggest that we have been deprived of a real talent for too long. But Gurney is a talent, make no mistake about that, and he is a talent who is battling his way back into this final.
Well, a journey of 1,000 miles and all that. It looked like a mountain that was too steep for Daryl Gurney to possibly climb.
16.
But he's halfway to the summit against Peter Snakebite Wright. Surely he could not turn this one on its head.
100.
Well, Wright, having missed a couple of darts for a 6-1 win, may have just thought, no, the chances will come. I'll get more chances. And you would expect him to.
80.
But little things like that Robin Hood there could limit the number of chances he gets if Daryl Gurney can turn it on.
58.
That's not turned on enough. Super chin.
Yeah, the Robin Hood may not matter. Daryl Gurney unable to steal from the rich. I'm not going to call him the poor
96.
in that sentence. But Peter Wright looks to be closing it out. Could just be a couple of visits away if he wants to do it in style.
46.
May look at the 19s here. 5 of them would leave the 170, and I'm sure Peter Wright would love to finish on a 170. And another one. Well,
95.
That's the first bit done. And it does leave the 170. And if you're going to win your first Players' Championship title of the year, why not win it in style? With the biggest finish of the lot.
Well, he's under some pressure. He's got to go for it with Daryl Gurney on a finish. 7 titles this year for Peter Snakebite Wright. Can he make it 8 in sensational style? Just underneath the wire. Now it's Gurney's turn to have a pop at a big finish.
130.
Well, if you're not going to take it out, the 130 to set up 3 match darts at tops isn't bad, but he might not get a go at it. Oh, he will do. Gurney needed the treble 19. He could see that last dart kind of thrown away because he thinks the game is up. Right for 6-3, double top.
Down for double 10. Back up for double 5. Do as you're told, dart. Find the target. Find the win. Find the title. Peter Wright wins Players' Championship 11. What a response to that Premier League final defeat from Snakebite Peter Wright. No trouble on the doubles today. His name has been missing from the Roll of Honour in Players' Championship events. There have been 8 winners from the previous 10 events. Peter Wright had lost in 3 finals. What a comeback. What a bounce back from that Premier League defeat. Peter Wright does win an 8th title of the year, and we will hear from him in just a moment, talking to Dan.
When I had that silly 95, I went, you're going to need 140, 180 now, and that's a stupid shot.
Don't interrupt you, gentlemen. Peter, congratulations. We could talk in that camera there. No, you stay right where you are. Peter, congratulations. You have won your 8th title of the year, and you have thrown some superb stuff today.
Semi-finals and the beginning of this match, I must admit, I did play some nice darts. What was the average in the last game, do you know?
The Rob Cross semi-final. Rob Cross averaged 109 against you. You have averaged 120.7 in that game. That is you playing somewhere near your best, isn't it?
It was close. Well, I should have had better doubles, lots of hundreds there, so there's loads of improvement to come.
This is it. Whatever you do, Peter, you're always working to make it better. Is that how you've got to where you are?
Yeah. Obviously, well, the first round I had Joe, I had a bye. Obviously, not enough players turn up. I had Joe Mernon, went 6-5, but I actually used two sets of darts in that game, just trying out another set, and then I've actually gone back to the old set that Daryl tells me to use all the time.
How many sets of darts have you used today? Just the 2?
That's my third set today.
Third set today. So third set today absolutely dominated this tournament. How important is it for you to come here and win today following what happened on Thursday?
I'm just glad to hit that weight. And double 16, I can hit it, I'm right. It's not a hoodoo anymore.
Just talk to us about Thursday. I saw you briefly, and the last words you said were, I'll get him. You've been like that every single time you've played Van Gogh in a big final. that would have absolutely killed other people, wouldn't it? People who weren't able to, deal with that. It's a very strong mentality you've got.
Yeah, but can't take obviously the performance I had, but you've got to remember Rob Cross played absolutely fantastic. He was on my tail all the time. He didn't let me off, and he's going to be in the top 10 in the world, not long.
Phil Taylor at the Masters earlier this year spoke about you and said, if he doesn't make it to world number 1, then he needs a kick up the backside because he's got the talent. Do you believe he can get there, and how long?
Obviously, it's going to take a little while. Yes, I believe I'm going to get to number 1. That's my target. That's why I'm playing darts, because I want to be number 1 in the world. And obviously, Michael's absolutely fantastic. But if you believe in your own ability, and like all the other guys out there, they all got the ability. Just believe in yourself, and you can be number 1 in the world.
8 titles this year. You dominated the UK Open qualifiers. You are dominating the European Tour. This is your first Players' Championship, yeah? After in your 4th final, but there's still plenty more of these. Do you believe that by the end of the year you can be number 1 in all of those orders of merit, going in as top seed for things like the European Championship?
That's the plan. That's the plan. We've got to upset Michael, get in his head. That's the plan. Instead of him running away with everything. As I said at the beginning of the year, it's up to the rest of us to take them titles off of Michael. But if you let him run away with everything, then he's going to.
Do you see yourself as his main contender right now?
At the moment, yeah. Yeah, I definitely do.
Well, look, we'll see you tomorrow. Congratulations, Peter.
Cheers, Ben. Thank
Peter Wright, the world number 3, winner here at Players' Championship 11 in Milton Keynes. He will be back tomorrow along with 127 players, hopefully. We only had 126 today, to compete for another £10,000 first prize. And who knows, maybe some more 120 averages from this man right here.
Cheers.